Hello everybody. How you doing today? Welcome back to the news in English, the news with Lloyd, here on Lloyd's Everyday English, here on YouTube. Hope you're doing extremely well today. Hope you're doing almost as well as Mr. Tim Cook. Mr. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, of course, who, he made a lot of money yesterday, let's say. So how much money did Tim Cook make? That is what we're going to find out today, but this is live, of course. So welcome to everybody. Let me just say hello to a few people. Happy Friday to everybody. So we're going to look at this article. We're going to find out how much money Tim Cook made. It's crazy. It's crazy. And of course, we're going to learn some vocabulary along the way as well. And if you would like to practice using it, you're very welcome to in the comments. So hello to Trudy, welcome. Hello to Lolly. Hello to Jonathan. Hello to Ingrid. Hello to Eugenia. It's very nice to see everybody here. And several of the people here in the comments are members of our private community, including Sergio as well. For more information on becoming a member in our private community, just head over to EnglishTVLive.com. We have lessons every day, including group speaking classes where you can get feedback from myself as well. So definitely check it out over there. Now, how much do you think Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, of course, how much? I remember one time Donald Trump called him Tim Apple by mistake. That was quite funny. How much money do you think Tim Cook got yesterday? Or sometime in the last few days? It's a combination of money and... No, it is money. Shares. He has a lot of Apple shares. And he recently received a lot of them from Apple. Hundreds of million? I would rather say hundreds of millions. Hundreds of millions. Lolly, you are correct. You are correct. It is definitely in that region. Any ideas? You want to try a specific number? Now Lolly has steered us in the right direction. How much money do you think? Have a go. Have a guess in the comments. How much money do you think Tim Cook just withdrew from his Apple share bank account? All right, well, in the meantime, let's take a look, shall we? How much money was it? How much was it? We're going to find out now. It was... Jonathan says, more than me. More than most people, I'm sure. And here, $1 billion, says Eugenia. Very, very nearly. Very nearly. Well, this is how much he got. Well, let's just scroll up. $750 million. Okay? $750 million. Almost $1 billion. And this is not his total net worth or anything. This is just what he got the other day from selling his shares. So for those who don't know or can't remember, Tim Cook became the CEO of Apple 10 years ago. I think it's basically 10 years ago exactly. After he replaced Steve Jobs, of course. And there he is. He looks very, very happy. Very happy indeed. Eugenia says, the sum is insane. Exactly. Sergio says, don't know actually, but can you give me his address? Well, I'm sure it has pretty good security. So Apple chief executive Tim Cook gets $750 million payout. Sorry, if I say this in the adjective form, I should actually say $750 million payout without the S on the end. So Apple, he gets a $750 million payout. Payout is when money is sent to your bank account. Payout, usually from the company you work for or something like that. Payout. Okay, it's a noun. the money that goes to your account. Not bad. Not bad at all. And as you can see, he looks pretty happy, as you would. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this article. We're going to read through it and see what's going on. By the way, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments as we go along. I want to ask you this question. So let me know what you think. Do you think that one person, it's just one person, right? Maybe this is a bit controversial, but do you think one person should be allowed to make that much money? Or do you think one person even needs that much money? I mean, almost $1 billion, right? And this is just not all of his money, as I said, just one. It's kind of like it's kind of a bonus because Apple's stock price, share price has increased, has gone through the roof, you can say, in the last 10 years since he's been in charge. So it's kind of a reward for that. But do you think the one person needs that much money? I don't think you could even spend all of that money. It would be difficult for one person. So let me know what you think about that as we come back to the article here. So, Apple chief executive Tim Cook has received more than 5 million shares in the technology giant as he marks 10 years in the job. To mark. Now, first of all, why don't we just take a look at the share price here? So, 5 million shares. 5 million shares. Right? So if you have a share in a company, let's take a look. Apple share price. Go into Google here. And you can see one share is $147. So you can do the maths there. But let's take a look here, because you can see, I mean, since Tim Cook has taken over, has become the CEO of Apple, you can see the share price has increased a lot. So when he took over, what was it, in 2011, can you believe it was 10 years ago that I think Steve Jobs passed away the same year, 2011 as well. Time really flies. But the original price was $14 when he took over, the share price. And now, so it's 1,000%. It's 10 times higher now, right? So definitely the shareholders will be very happy. So he's received these shares as like a bonus to recognize the job he's done, marking 10 years in the job. Now, we can use this word here, mark, all right? So to mark an amount of time means to recognize an important moment related to time. So, for example, today marks 10 years since the end of the war, and it can be good or bad, right? So next Monday marks their 20th wedding anniversary. So to mark a moment in time, to commemorate or even celebrate, but in this case mark is kind of neutral, right? So it recognizes an important moment in time. So now, this moment, I guess, marks 10 years since he took over. See if you can make your own examples with that word, mark. A company filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, otherwise known as the SEC, watchdog, shows that he sold most of the shares for more than $750 million. That's 550 million pounds. So he received the shares from Apple and he said, "Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna sell them." And you know, the SEC is an organization which monitors everything that happens on the stock exchange with the selling of shares, etc., to make sure everything is happening properly, although it often doesn't. It's otherwise known as a watchdog. Okay, so a watchdog. Yeah, watchdogs, and as we can see here, is an independent organization that makes sure companies follow standards and do not act illegally. For example, the media is supposed to act as a watchdog of the government, not its spokesperson. But of course, in some countries, the media just basically says what the government wants it to say, right? But the media's job should be a watchdog. And anyway, so why did he receive this money, this $750 million? Well, of shares. 5 million shares, I think it was. It is part of a deal he struck when he took over from co-founder Steve Jobs. The award depended on how well Apple shares performed compared to other firms on the S&P 500 stock index. So basically, as we said, it was receiving all of these shares was a reward for his performance. And as you can see here, pretty good performance. It is also according to Apple's filing with the SEC, Mr. Cook was eligible for the award. We'll look at that word again in a moment. Eligible for the award, as the company's shares had risen by 191.83% over the last 3 years. Only the last 3 years, the share price increased that much. So I'm not, of course, a financial advisor, but it looks like quite a good good stock to have. And it's noted that Apple's share price has increased 1,200% since he became chief executive on the 24th of August 2011. So as you can see, things going swimmingly, things going very well in terms of the share price. Apple is very happy, and so when he took over from Steve Jobs, he struck this deal. So basically they said, if after 10 years you achieve this, blah, 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 you will receive these shares. So what does that mean, to strike a deal? Well, to strike a deal means basically just to agree a deal or a contract, okay? So to strike a deal. And we have the different tenses of this verb as well. So it's an irregular verb, to strike. Strike can also mean to hit as well, or you could strike baseball with a bat. It's another meaning, but same verb form. So to strike a deal, to agree a deal. You know, as just before I went live on this channel today, I was watching again the latest news from the football transfers. It's very exciting at the moment to see where are the big players going to go. Cristiano Ronaldo has apparently decided to leave Juventus. Big surprise. And now he's trying to strike a deal with another club. And everybody expected he would strike a deal with Manchester City, but apparently they haven't been able to strike a deal. They haven't struck a deal, and now he's not going to go there. So pretty interesting. Maybe Manchester United, maybe Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But this is the verb form. So strike, struck, struck. So can we strike a deal? We want to strike a deal. We struck a deal in the past tense, and we have struck a deal, or a deal was struck. After many hours of negotiations, a deal was finally struck. Was struck, right? In the passive form, we should use the past participle there. Okay. And what else did we have? So, take over. A pretty simple phrasal verb there. So to take over means to take control from somebody else. Maybe Again, I would love to see your examples in the comments, but I just want to be clear about the difference with take over, the phrasal verb, and then overtake, which is just one word by itself, which means to catch up with and then pass someone or something. So, for example, Tim Cook took over from Steve Jobs as Apple's CEO, of course, in 2011. Another sporting example, Novak Djokovic just needs one more Grand Slam to overtake Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. So they all have 20 Grand Slams as I record this video, and Novak Djokovic is quite a bit younger than the other two, so he has a good chance to overtake two of the best players ever and become the highest ever recipient of Grand Slams. Someone who receives something. We also have that word in this article. Our sales this year have already overtaken last year's. All right. So do you see the difference there? Overtake and take over. Maybe another example could be, let's say you are driving. You're on a long car journey somewhere, and you are driving, and you're getting a bit tired. And maybe the other person could say, "Hey, let me take over. Let me take over the driving for this trip. You look a bit tired." So it doesn't only have to be in a business setting to take control of a situation. Take over. All right. So let me come back to the comments here. Eugenia says that summer's insane, incredible. So my question was, do you think any one person really needs that much money or should have that much? No, I don't think so. What about his employees? That's a good question. And think about with Apple or any of these big technology companies, there's often big scandals when it comes to how these products are manufactured. It's often in these factories and maybe in China, for example, the working conditions are very terrible. Often people can go through really horrible situations and conditions. And when you think they don't get paid too much, I guess. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's a reasonable salary, but when you think of all the work they go through, and then Tim Cook, just one guy, and he's getting all this money. It doesn't seem very fair, right? But does Apple gave in that amount to him? They gave that amount to him. Yes, they gave that to him as a reward. Definitely, I think the capitalist system has come to a degeneration. Okay, so it's getting to a bad situation, bad state, it's getting worse, but it's too complex issue. You could say it's too complex an issue, or it's a very complex issue. The sum is so high that I don't realize, or maybe I can't believe it. Which means people should be free to do what they want. So if he's good enough, he should make the money, in my opinion. Okay, fair enough. I know everybody has different views on this, and I'm kind of not totally sure what I think as well, because I don't like the idea of people being limited in their dreams and their goals and everything. But at the same time, one person, I mean, I'm sure he's doing a good job, but is Tim Cook working millions of times harder, 750 million times harder than somebody in a factory who's actually making I was going to say iPod, no, not iPods anymore, iPads and iPhones? I'm not sure you can really say that, but that's how it is. Okay, let's move along here. So, it is also noted that Apple's share price has increased 1,200%, geez Louise, since he became chief executive on, 24th of August 2011. So yes, exactly 10 years ago. Well, 10 years as of, I guess, Tuesday, Wednesday, what is today? 27, yeah, this week. So this week marks 10 years since Tim Cook took over at Apple. Took the reins, you could say as well. The company behind the iPhone, the iPad, the MacBook now has a market valuation of almost, this is crazy, 2.5, what is this word? What is this word here? TN. Trillion. Trillion. So what is trillion? Trillion, geez. Trillion is 1,000 billion, right? Let's see here. What does $1 trillion look like? Just to give you an idea. $1 trillion. Okay, well, let's just see how it's written out. So this is a trillion. This many zeros, right? I think if you were to put all the money together, it would make a skyscraper, several skyscrapers. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's the value of Apple now. 2.5 trillion. So in the grand scheme of things, let me write that down in the comments. It's a nice expression. In the grand scheme of things, in the whole picture, 970 whatever it was $1 million that Tim Cook got is only a tiny percentage of the Apple's total value. 2.5 trillion. Remember, 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So what Tim Cook received is not even a billion. Not even 1 billion. Last year, Mr. Cook agreed to a new pay package that runs to the end of 2026. Okay, so he's not. When I first read this article, it sounded. When I saw the headline, rather, I thought, oh, is Tim Cook leaving Apple? Okay, I thought it was maybe like, sometimes when people finish a contract, they get an exit bonus, something like that. But no, this is just a 10-year good job bonus. But he's not. He's probably going to stay there for many more years, at least until 2026, and many people, I think he'll stay after that as well. So until the end of 2026, a new pay package. So don't forget, he still has his salary. He still gets his other bonuses, his monthly salary. I mean, you can imagine how much money is in his bank account. A SEC filing also showed that earlier this week, Mr. Cook donated almost $10 million worth of Apple shares to charity without naming the recipient. So, to give some credit to Tim Cook, apparently he has donated a lot of money to charity as well. I mean, $10 million, that's a lot of money for sure. In 2015, by the way, SEC filing is kind of an official document that shows that this transaction took place. In 2015, Mr. Cook said he would give away his entire fortune before he dies, and is known to have donated tens of millions of dollars to charity. So we can say that Tim Cook is quite a philanthropic, is that the word? Yeah, philanthropic person, charitable person. I mean, if I were to be cynical, you could say that maybe it's convenient for tax reasons sometimes to donate to charity. But I don't know about that, so credit where credit is due. Fair play. He's given lots of money to charity as well. And he says he wants to give away all his money before he dies. So if that is true, then wow, that's very impressive. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have a similar strategy, apparently, they say. He currently has a net worth of around $1.5 billion. So that's his total worth, I guess, if you include all of his assets and everything, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. He has often spoken publicly about his concerns over issues including HIV and AIDS, climate change, human rights, and equality. So these are some of the issues that that he cares about a lot. Also, Tim Cook, as far as I know, is one of the most famous gay CEOs. So he came out, you can say, several years ago. To come out means to publicly tell people that you are gay, right? And so I know he has been a pretty vocal supporter of equal rights for gay and lesbian community as well. He follows other mega rich, super rich U.S. business people who have said they would give away all or a significant portion of their fortunes in their lifetimes. I don't think the children are going to be too happy about that. Mom, Dad, where did all the money go that you had? Just kidding. I'm sure they'll be fine. In 2010, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, an investment veteran, very experienced investor Warren Buffett, launched the Giving Pledge, which called on billionaires. To call on means to encourage, right? To encourage people to do something. So they called on billionaires to give away at least half of their fortune. Your fortune is all of the money you have. Now, you only use this word fortune if you have a lot of money. Your fortune, huge amount, millions, billions, your fortune. Earlier this year, Mr. Buffett donated to charity another 4.1 billion. Jeez. Now, if you look at Warren Buffett compared to Tim Cook is way down here. Warren Buffett, I'm not sure his exact wealth. Let's check it out. Because usually you've got, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. They're usually the top dogs. That's a net worth 104 billion. So compared to he has 100 times more money than Tim Cook. So Tim Cook is actually in the billionaire club. He's pretty low. He's pretty low on the totem pole, on the scale. So Warren Buffett donated $4.1 billion in shares to a charity. So that's about it. Do we have any other vocabulary? Strike a deal, struck a deal. Oh yes, to be eligible for something. So this word eligible, let's just focus on the pronunciation as well. Eligible. So it said in the document, the article. Let's just find it quickly here. Okay, so Mr. Cook was eligible for this award, right? This payout, this huge payout, because the company shares had risen by this amount in the last 3 years. That's the reason he got this last payout, right? The reason he was eligible for it. Now, to be eligible for something means you are able to do something, or you're able to receive something, because you have the correct qualifications, the right age, etc., the right, maybe you've reached a certain level. In this case, that's what Tim Cook had done. He had achieved a certain goal for Apple. So because of that, he was eligible. So if you reach the correct qualifications or whatever is needed to do this thing, to have this thing, then you are eligible. So, for example, only people who pass the exam will be eligible to enter the university. Once you reach retirement age, you are eligible for your pension. So you can be eligible to do something or eligible for something. Maybe you could be eligible for maybe a tax cut if you, have a certain so you do a certain thing in a certain way. Maybe you could be eligible for a bonus, or eligible for a pay rise or a promotion. So you meet the certain that's the word I was trying to think of, criteria for that thing. And another word came to mind as well, and that, or phrase, vocabulary, an eligible bachelor. This is another meaning of eligible. Okay, so the most common way that eligible is used is like this. But if a person is eligible, that means it's usually a single person who is very attractive and desirable, maybe rich as well. So I think it's most commonly used for men. I would say maybe a little bit sexist, but imagine there's a very handsome, charming, single, wealthy man. He's a very eligible bachelor. All the ladies are looking in his direction. We need to find you an eligible bachelor to date and make you forget about the ex. Now, he doesn't have to be rich, I don't think. That's just an extra bonus, I guess. But a very, very attractive person for people today. An eligible bachelor. So that is about it. Let me come back to the comments before we finish. I'll leave the document in our private group a little bit later. Sarah says it could be twice what I'd rather say twice the value. Twice the value or of the Turkish economy, maybe economy of several countries. How do they decide the amount of that price? I'm not sure. I guess they negotiated. They struck a deal when he took over from Tim Cook. Now remember, when he took over from Tim Cook, the value of the shares was when Tim Cook took over from Steve Jobs, the value of the share was only $14. Now it's 140 something. So think about it from Tim Cook's perspective. He had a big incentive to make sure that the share price increased and increased and increased. And it makes you curious now that he's sold the shares. He suddenly sold the shares. Maybe, does that mean maybe that they're going to go down again? I don't know. I have no idea. Are you an eligible bachelor, Lloyd? I mean, that is not for me to say. That is not for me to say, Lloyd. For certain, I'm eligible for. I thought you were going to say I'm an eligible bachelor. Maybe you are. Sure you are, young doctor. For certain, I am eligible for this job. Perfect. Cut out for. Well, it's more technical. If you're cut out for something, it's more. We looked at this expression to be cut out for something in a lesson earlier this week. If you're cut out for something, it means you are suitable. You're suitable for this job, but cut out for something is a little bit more connected to your characteristics, your personality traits, maybe your drive, your ambition, your ability to stay calm and cool under pressure, to perform in your job, things like that, right? Whereas eligible is more connected to your qualifications, your experience, things like that. Does that make sense? So there's slightly different. It's a little bit more clinical with eligible, a little bit more kind of technical. So, Sarah, nice to see you. Welcome. Well, that's about it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Hope it was interesting little article there. Congratulations to Tim Cook. Spend your money wisely. Maybe please buy everybody a drink. I don't know. And if you're watching in the replay as well, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And to finish off, whether you're watching live or in the replay, let me know in the comments. You can let me know in the comments after the lesson has finished as well. Let me know in the comments, what would you do? What would you do if you had all of that money? If you had all of that money that Tim Cook has, what would you do? What would you spend it on? Let me know. But thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again very, very soon. If you're not a member yet, I would love to see you in our private community, EnglishTVLive.com. Go and find out more there. But until next time, take care of yourself and talk soon. Bye-bye.